Hello dear students, this class is about primitive data types in Java. Okay. Java has total 8 primitive data types including both numeric and non-numeric. Okay. Which are fundamental building blocks for storing and manipulating data. We need to store data to work on them. Okay, data like a big number or a small number or any type of character like ABC or ampersand, underscore, and manipulating means working with that data like deleting data, updating data, and so on. So Java has 8 primitive data types which are the fundamental building blocks for storing and manipulating data. These are predefined by the language, which means we cannot modify or change these data types. Okay, primitive data types are already built in Java program and we cannot change them or modify them. These are predefined by the language and represent basic values in memory, and these are directly stored in memory. The main funda is these data types are stored directly in the memory. Now let's come to those types, 8 types. First comes numeric types, byte, which is an 8-bit or 1 byte. 8-bit is equal to 1 byte. Okay, so we can store 8-bit or 1 byte signed 2's complement integer using byte data type. Example is we can store 100, 200 and so on. All these have ranges we will discuss in our upcoming lectures. For now on, just learn byte can store an 8-bit or 1 byte signed 2's complement integer. Then comes short. It can store a 16-bit or 2 byte signed 2's complement integer. Okay, so it can store a 16-bit or 2 byte signed 2's complement integer. Examples are like 10,000, 20,000 and so on. In data type, int can store a 32-bit or a 4 byte signed 2's complement integer. It is the most commonly used primitive data types in Java. Always remember, int is the most commonly used primitive data type in Java. Then comes long. It's bigger than int. It can store a 64-bit or 8 byte signed 2's complement integer. Example is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 3, 4, L. Always remember, for writing our long primitive data type in Java, we have to suffix the letter L, uppercase L, with the number. Then comes float and double. This float and double are used for floating point or decimal numbers. Float can store a 32-bit or 4 byte single precision floating point number used for decimal values with less precision. Example 3.14f. Here also a mentioning of floating point number. We can use primitive data type float and we have to suffix a small f with our decimal number. This is mandatory to suffix a small f or lowercase f whenever we are using the float primitive data type in Java. Then comes double. A double can store 64-bit or 8 byte double precision floating point number, which means it can store decimal values with higher precision. Example is 3.1415265339 etc. We can store a larger number here with better precision, double precision. Then comes boolean. We already discussed in our previous lecture. Then boolean can have only 2 types of values, either true or false, either yes or no. Boolean represents a logical value, either true or false, either yes or no. Then comes char data type. Char can store a 16-bit or 2 byte Unicode character used to store single characters like single A or B or C or ampersand etc.